All right, guys. Second session of the day. We're back. Couple key points for my own trading and how it's going to look different from my charting sessions is I'm looking at my rules, and I have a couple rules, and one of those rules is always using a stop, and the other rule is never risking the whole account. And the third rule that I'm going to go back to is only using limit orders. So if I go back and I look at monthly breakdown, September, October, November, December, I netted $60,000. I had a couple small months and then a couple big months. And I traded only limit orders and I started trading market orders. And you see, this was over a year ago, how it just changed to having to huge positive to huge negative net P&L. So prop trades. This was also um, yeah, I did really well. When was this? May, June, July, August. So also had a really good period during here. This month in particular was really good. I was trading market orders during here. Um, anyways, I did really well with limit orders, and I haven't done so well with market orders, and there's a number of reasons why. The first reason is just logistical. I'm asleep during New York Open, and now I work at different hours. Sometimes I'm working during the open or the close of the day, daily candle. I'm not able to be on the chart at consistent time, and also I'm not able to be vigilant for a long time. So my limit orders stand in for me while I'm doing other things. So that's number one. Number two is also psychologically, market orders cause me to chase price, and also to cause me to revenge trade, or they allow me to chase price and revenge trade and be unprepared for retracements. And limit orders don't let me chase price. It's harder to chase price. It's harder to revenge trade, and it's more possible. It forces me to be more patient, and it also forces me to be more prepared. So all that said, let's look at key areas and levels on the chart. Um, the investment assets, these are all closed. Gold coming down from the highs a little bit, silver. We had really sharp sells off on US 100 and 2000. That doesn't necessarily bother me. This was a news day and it priced in pretty quickly on a Friday. I wouldn't be surprised. Could be wrong, but I don't have a reason to think that I wouldn't long this, but also I don't know about if I would want to short this as well either. So, pretty big red day into the close. We'll see what happens in the open tomorrow. Crypto actually has been up over the weekend, just a little bit, but up. So we're looking at total three. Others, I think it's possible, I could be totally wrong, but the August low is a significant bottom, and that in general we don't come and take that, or at least don't do it until later. I think I know that a lot of people are in paper because they've been selling, spot's been selling, and at some point there will be a bid. I don't see why it needs to happen with a sweep of these lows. I could be wrong. We might just continue on down, and go straight down, but it's been to me there's something special about that wick, and price has been in a downtrend already for quite some time. I think it's possible that we get a relief rally of some kind here. Now I just want to show you my plan for limit ordering. If I have a trade idea, it needs to be a limit. And typically there's two ways that I can limit. I can limit a predictive sweep. So say that I wanted to short helium here, I could do a predictive sweep right above. Or I can put it in a 1 hour or 4 hour fair value gap. So see this little gap right here? Another possibility would be to put a limit order right here. Something like that. And then in this case, would have gotten a great fill on it. Now, if I wanted to be short helium again, I would have to put my limit order here and trade it like something like this. That said, I decided I don't really think that I want to be short helium. Maybe. I just not sure I really want to be short the market in general. So I'm still always thinking about trader positioning and where they were and where they are. So if we look at it right now, actually, yeah, maybe. It's kind of concerning, actually. Funding is normalized for the most part on Bitcoin. So it went hugely negative, and it's gone positive again. But I mean, this by volume, this was actually bigger than the August bottom. And it was bigger, more shorts than the bottom on the intermediate bottom, August 13th, 14th, 15th. So just based on that, I don't really want to be short the market here, even though we are seeing that funding is normalizing, but it is normalizing as price is rising. And actually it went negative again here. Now, helium was an idea, but if we look at, actually funding has gone super high. Maybe it is interesting. Again, I cannot mark it in though. Yeah, look how high it is. Okay, if I'd been paying, I went negative here. Interesting. What is it looking at? It's just Bybit and Kraken. Okay, I'm curious how it looks. I want to see also what get a screenshot, a shot of the market from here. Let's see. Um, I'm curious on MEXC if HNT. How it's looking. Oh, it's positive over here. I could consider, I mean, I don't love being short anything, but if you look, I'll probably just leave it alone. I'd rather focus on longs in general. I think this is a good place to focus on longs. So I am long Bitcoin. Okay. So originally I had a limit order right here at 53,600, and I ended up pulling that limit order. Didn't get filled. Would have gone against. I don't know that I would have held it. Maybe I would have panic closed it, but that would be working a little bit better. I ended up getting back in at 54. The area that I came in was um, it was the bottom of a 4 hour fair value gap. We ended up coming in and filling the 1 hour gap perfectly. So that's one of the things that we want to see in bullish market structure is gaps created and respected. So if we look at this downtrend here, we created a gap, but it wasn't respected. Created a gap, wasn't respected. Created gaps, weren't respected. Created a gap, wasn't respected. Okay, this is the first time we've created a gap that's being respected, so we have a shift in market structure. So for ETH's a little bit strong. I would be interested in limiting like this. I don't think that I want to though, on account of um, I already have a long risk on Bitcoin. It's like the same thing. I don't want to add on to it. Let me show a different um, possibility for limit ordering though, and that would be when this happens. This is where a predictive sweep would be good, just a little bit past the high, something like something like this. Especially if we haven't created a bearish gap yet. So we get filled. Or what also could happen would be at this point, we could sell in this gap as well. That would be another way to get in. See how it filled this gap perfect? So this is like a law for me now. It's not even a new rule, but it's my best trading ever. This is what I've done. After that, I don't know, like could chase it down, but I don't know that anything gets filled. No, it's just straight down. So this is how I want to trade it. Now let's go ahead and look at where key areas on the chart now. So to me, there's not an interesting sell until all the way up here for both Bitcoin and ETH. I'm interested in intermediate sells. Okay, maybe shorts. I am interested in closing position, reopening, trying to compound. But my game plan is try to trade up to 61,000 and possibly trade as high as 65,000 and possibly trade to new all-time highs, right? I think we probably haven't, there's a good chance we made the low of September already, or if we go lower, it's not much lower. Of course, could be wrong, and I'd be interested in trading a sweep of this wick. A interesting level lower would be just under the wick down here at 45, or, I mean, this area, 41 or 38. I don't think it's very likely, but just want to be prepared. I'm really not interested in shorts until maybe up here, but in general, not that interested in shorts on alts, which is why for helium, I want to leave that alone. Now, part of my plan is if we're able to create new gaps, put new limit orders down below, especially if it's moved significantly. I don't know that I want to advance my stop or add risk yet. But for example, if we're able to create a gap here, I would be interested in trading this, something like this. I'm more interested in having a high win rate than in making a lot of money right now, though. I cannot just add on here, obviously, but I'm also more interested in 4 hour gaps. So if we take this high and we create a 4-hour gap here, this is somewhere I would maybe put it. But I mean, if we look at this price action, especially for ETH, it's not unlikely for ETH to reverse the whole Friday sell-off. It's not very far. It's made it more than half the way, and it's created this 4-hour gap that has been so strong it's just poked it. So for ETH, I wouldn't be surprised for something like this. For Bitcoin, it's actually a higher RR. That's a 5, that's a 6R, that's a 4R for Bitcoin. So that's my game plan. And yeah, I just limit orders. I have no other limit orders right now. And I don't want to add a limit order until I can advance my stop somewhat. And yeah, not 100% sure what that looks like, but I would probably have to wait until after Monday because I don't want to the weekend lows aren't strong lows. So this day and this day, I don't want my stop on these days. So I'm gonna wait for um, maybe a large gap to be created, price to really move high, and then I could. So in theory, I don't know that this would happen. How do I draw like multiple lines? Oh, that's not how. Um, yeah, the limit order is really important because I would want to add on here. It's too early to add, and it's a bad place to add because we are also arguably ranging and just failed at this midpoint of the range here. So why would I add here? It's not good. So limit ordering is important for taming my impulses. So yeah, I want to draw this line. How do I do it? Connected line path. Here it is. If price does something like this and create, yeah, say that price does something like this, then I could think about adding and advancing like so, something like that. But yeah, that's it for now and for the day. I'm gonna log off and lock up. Yeah, Bitcoin starting to show a little strength. Not really, but a little, just a little bit. Yeah. Let's see if how's the volume here? There's no reason to think that this is going to be like a meaningful breakout because it's the weekend, but we are having a structure of price drifting upwards, and yeah, this might fail, but looks decent. I could also, if I wanted to be really careful, break even it already, but I don't think that makes sense because I want to give it room on Monday to retest the low. So just leave it alone for now. And yeah, my target right now is just reversing the move for now, at which point I would expect volatility. If that happens, then I would be looking for a pullback long where I can compound my trade. Now, if we break down, if we sweep the low, I would entertain a re-entry on a pullback. If we just start breaking down, then and I see it happening, I would maybe put a limit entry at 47, something like that. Maybe 48 to 40, something like that, with a really small position with a really wide stop. So, but what we are seeing is price is kind of grinding up, not going lower yet, which is good for longs. And I had a pretty good entry. Ended up going lower, and I could have made an extra little bit, but it's all good, or saved a little bit. All right, happy trading, peace and love.